who's as adamant about his or her position as I am about mine, whom you think is sharp. Seriously, we know that. And another thing, we heard him say that... Welcome, Eldorados. Larry Elder here. This is another edition of And Another Thing for those of you lucky enough to be Eldorados. If you are not an Eldorado, go to LarryElder.com, sign up, become an Eldorado. I'll give you a free copy of my award-winning feature-length documentary called Michael and Me about the Second Amendment, where we talk about the history of the Second Amendment, and we actually confront Michael Moore, the way Michael Moore confronts other people, and we ask him 3 times, Mr. Director, how many Americans are alive every year because they were able to use a gun to defend themselves? 3 times he gave an answer that was a little less responsive than what you and I would have wanted. So get the DVD and check it out for yourself. Now for today's commentary. We got a lot of scandals in the Obama administration, right? We've got the AP scandal, we have the IRS scandal, we have Benghazi, we have HHS, we have State Department scandals, but it ought not take our eye off the ball. This economy sucks. This is the worst recovery since the Second World War. And don't go by me, don't go by Larry Elder, don't go by some of these conservative people that I look to. Let's go by the Associated Press. May I put my glasses on? Thank you. Recent Associated Press article. This is the AP now. This is the right-wing neocon Associated Press. This is the Associated Press that Obama issued those subpoenas for. This is the evil Associated Press. I'm joking. The AP is a consortium of a bunch of newspapers. They pay the AP to send people to cover things where local newspapers can't cover. You got over 1,000 newspapers in the country. Most of them are small-town newspapers. They don't have the money to send somebody to Davos to cover the International Conference on Economic Prosperity. So they subscribe to the AP. The AP sends somebody there, and they do it. Many of us who are not liberal have long accused the AP of being left-wing, the same way we accuse CBS and NBC and CNN of being left-wing. So that's why I mention all of that to establish the Associated Press's credentials, okay? Listen to what they're saying about the economy. And I quote, since World War II, 10 U.S. recessions have been followed by a recovery that lasted at least 3 years. And Associated Press analysis shows that by just about any measure, the one that began in June 2009, that would have been a few months after Obama took office, in case you're keeping score. An Associated Press analysis shows that by any just measure, the one that began in June 2009 is the weakest. Economic growth has never been weaker in a post-war recovery. In case some of you don't have English as your first language, let me repeat that last line. Economic growth has never been weaker in a post-war recovery. Consumer spending has never been so slack. Only once has job growth been slower. More than in any other post-World War II recovery, people who have jobs are hurting. Their paychecks have fallen behind inflation. End of quote. Associated Press. Now, we have to ask ourselves something. Why? Why would this one be the weakest? Luck of the draw? Global warming? George W. Bush? 2 unpaid-for wars tax cuts for the rich? Or maybe, just maybe, Obama's economic policies have hurt the country. Miriam is from Escondido, California. Don't have anything to say about Escondido, other than I think you guys have a pretty good junior college up there. What would you like to see as a top 5 list of things, top 5, and a new president in 2016 should campaign on and fully keep as a promise, instead of just campaign hyperbole? Thank you for your show and your points of view that are very thought-provoking. Miriam, you said 5, okay. Shut down Department of Education, shut down Department of Energy, privatize Social Security, end government welfare at the federal level, end the war on drugs. How about that? That's just 5. I would lose the IRS. I would go to a flat tax, or ideally no tax. If government were as small as I want it to be, we wouldn't have to have an income tax. The founding fathers didn't have an income tax. They expected the... I hope you enjoyed this small excerpt. If you want to see the full video, got to be in Eldorado. Go to my website, LarryElder.com, log in, fill out the form. It'll cost you about $4.75 a month, or about the price of a mocha frappuccino latte at your favorite coffee house. As you can tell, I don't like coffee. I'm a tea drinker. See you next time.